Hey everybody. Um, I have my speakers set in the wrong place. That should be better. Uh, we're doing TikTok news again. We don't have a bunch of people tonight. It's just me and Argit. Um, but we do have some pretty interesting stories to talk about. And I want to kick us off tonight with Marco Rubio writing a letter to the CIA urging them not to get a TikTok account.
And it's just like, I hear those words and I think to myself, where's the punchline? That is.
This is the press release on Marco Rubio's Senate website. And I'm just going to read the full text of the letter. Dear Director Burns, I write with regard to media reports indicating that the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, is open to establishing a presence on TikTok, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, controlled social media app. First of all, CCP doesn't control TikTok. It's owned by a private company.
Not even that. They don't even. If last I recall, China doesn't even allow the app in the country. They banned it.
There is a ByteDance runs a different app that is the same mechanical thing in China.
Right. I forgot about that.
It's called Douyin, I think.
Yeah. It's been a minute since I've thought about that.
Yeah. The intelligence community has been clear that TikTok and other Chinese-owned apps pose significant security risks to Americans and their personal data. As such, I urge you to commit that the CIA will not join TikTok or any other social media platform that poses a serious threat to U.S. national security, as well as to Americans' user data and privacy.
Because I remember when all this part first went down too, my understanding is that currently, and as always has been, all American data is stored either somewhere here in America or in Singapore.
Yep.
And they did that because of said concerns, is my understanding too. But again, that has been like well over a year that I've thought of any of this.
It is the duty of the CIA and the broader intelligence community to protect our nation and safeguard America's security interests. You are undoubtedly aware of the privacy risks associated with certain foreign apps, such as TikTok, which is owned by the Chinese company ByteDance. Significantly, as of April 2019, ByteDance had entered a cooperation agreement with a PRC security agency. In addition, August 2020 public reporting revealed that the CCP had more than 130 committee members in managerial positions at ByteDance's Beijing office. We cannot pretend that TikTok and other Chinese-owned companies are not beholden to the CCP. Both China's counter-espionage law and cybersecurity law granted the People's Republic of China, PRC, intelligence officials the right to enter privately owned commercial facilities, examine private records, investigate and question personnel, and access or even seize communications equipment owned by companies or individuals, which is why it's noteworthy that none of the servers are in China. And they are all owned by the American TikTok Corporation. None. Those laws 100% do not apply to data centers in Singapore and America.
God. That's one of those things about this that has always blown my mind, and like it didn't really take me very long to figure it out that it just feels purely 100% blind racism. Like they don't even need information. Oh, China bad. Mm-hmm. Everything bad. Let's not touch it. And it's just like, it's not even that, like, at all. I don't understand. Which now this also reminds me of where in the process is that deal between ByteDance and Oracle / Walmart or the Waltons or whomever that we're trying to buy it out to help divorce this whole situation
Yeah.
even further.
I mean, like, for what it's worth, he is making a coherent argument here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not an argument that is supported by facts or reality.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I think that's important to know because, you know,
Yes.
people, like, when you say this is just based in nothing at all, people will point to stuff like this and say, look at all of these specific fact claims. This is not based in nothing. Like, that law, I mean, I'm sure that law actually exists. It also is not relevant to this discussion. But
Exactly.
under the broadly written 2017 National Intelligence Law, any organization or citizen is required to support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work in accordance with the law. The law also permits Chinese intelligence authority to preferentially use or legally requisition the means of transport, communication tools, sites, and buildings of such organizations and individuals. TikTok has millions of active users across the United States. As such, the CIA should be warning about the risks associated with TikTok and other foreign apps developed in authoritarian surveillance states, not normalizing them. Instead of devoting precious national security resources on a misguided agenda, the CIA should be focused on the most pressing challenges of our time, including threats from the CCP, Putin's Russia, the Iranian regime, and terrorist networks growing more dangerous due to the Biden administration's handling of the Afghanistan withdrawal. As such, I request that you explicitly reject the reported comments of the CIA's social media team and confirm that the agency will not be joining TikTok or any other high-risk foreign app. Sincerely, Marco Rubio.
I have no words. Like, it's too much. Like, yes, it all sounds very good. But again, as you were saying too, like, where's the factual evidence that any of that would apply to the current situation of what is ByteDance / TikTok as it exists here in our country?
Yeah, and the United States government did an in-depth investigation of TikTok to check for
Mhm.
national security risks near the end of 2019. And like, we don't know the results of that investigation, but we do know that the president of the United States spent a good chunk of 2020 trying to ban TikTok and never cited the consequences of that investigation as evidence for why.
Yes, that does speak volumes, doesn't it? Oh gosh. And then I can't remember. I think it was. It was definitely more of an independent study too. But I do remember, and I wish I had any clue as to where to find it. But there was a gigantic infographic showing that, as a matter of fact, Amazon and Facebook are more invasive of your privacy rights than TikTok is, like,
Yeah,
by a lot. But that's okay, because America.
yeah, America.
Oh goodness.
All right. So one of the other big stories I would love to talk about is the Wall Street Journal's reporting on TikTok serving up sex and drug videos to minors. Unfortunately, the Wall Street Journal has a paywall, so we're not doing that tonight. We can talk about. Let me open this goddamn record. We can talk about an article that reports on that article.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! I fucking hate news websites so much. So many ads, and for what? So this is WBRL syndicating news station now reporting on the Wall Street Journal's research. TikTok is growing and showing no signs of slowing down, but the app where users can create and upload 15-second video is starting to show some weak points. This was written 2 days ago. The app where users can upload a 15-second video. Like, that has not been an accurate description of TikTok's content When did they add minute-long videos? It was before I started using the app.
I was going to say, I was not aware that they formerly did not have 1 minute videos.
Yeah, no, it was
At least I
originally
don't.
just 15 seconds, and then they added minute-long videos, and then they added 3 minutes, and now they are apparently
Okay,
piloting 5.
right. So I joined like September-ish 2019, and they definitely had minute. I
Mhm.
think I also am not behind the paywall on the. I mean, I can't put it up on screen, but uh, the how TikTok serves up sex and drug videos to minors
Mhm.
from September 8th.
Yeah,
I do have that here if you wanted me to read anything from that.
yeah, sure. Can you just print it to PDF and send it to me?
Oh, I will try.
Because yeah, this article is terrible. Wall Street Journal conducted a study to test out the app's feature called "For You." What it found should put all of us, especially parents, on alert.
So this whole thing has me feeling old right now because there's not a print button and there's not like
Hmm.
share as a print. Anyway, could you go back? Thank you. One more moment. I think I might.
Yeah, this article does not feel worth it. Just scaremongering.
Yeah.
This one, though, is probably worth talking about. TikTok reportedly overtakes YouTube in US average watch time on Android. TikTok's users now spend more time each month watching content than YouTube users, according to a report from app analytics firm App Annie. In the US, ByteDance's app first overtook YouTube in August last year, and as of June 2021, its users watched over 24 hours of content per month, compared with 22 hours and 40 minutes on Google's video platform. In the UK, the difference is even more stark. TikTok overtook YouTube in May last year, and users there now reportedly watch almost 26 hours of content per month, compared to less than 16 on YouTube. These figures only include viewership on Android phones, however, so it may not be representative of mobile users as a whole. The caveats aside, they show the extent of TikTok's meteoric rise over just a few short years, and are even more impressive given the 3-minute maximum of most of its videos compared to the 10-minute format preferred by many YouTubers. That's so many of these articles are so out of date. 10 minutes is
Yeah.
too short for a YouTube video now. It's
Yeah.
minimum 20.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh, no, it's gone now because I went away from it and opened it back up again. But it was giving me like the AMP version and I didn't realize it. So when I switched to desktop, it was like, no, we're shutting this whole thing down.
Hmm.
Good gravy. Okay.
YouTube is still ahead in time span overall, no doubt, because it's 2 billion users compared to TikTok's roughly 700 million. And again, excluding iOS users and users of the app renamed Douyin in China, YouTube is still the number one in terms of time spent on Android phones among social and entertainment apps, as of the first half of this year, with TikTok at number 5 behind 3 Facebook apps: Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Users also spend more money on YouTube than TikTok across both iOS and Android worldwide, excluding Android users in China, according to App Annie's data. If you're curious as to exactly how TikTok found such success, App Annie reckons short video, authentic content, and live streaming are the reasons. So it's unsurprising that YouTube is attempting to ape TikTok's short-form video format with the launch of its own YouTube Shorts.
I mean, this whole this whole thing is just kind of funny, right? Because what is old becomes new again. Because when YouTube first came out, it was, I think it was only a minute long video, if I recall correctly.
5-minute
5 minutes.
upload limit.
And I just like, I remember that too. Like all the videos used to be like about a minute long and they were just, crap. It was like everybody was just like, oh, hey, I've got a little video of my potato because it's technology and it's awesome. Which, I mean, that was wonderful. Just there is still just some content from that era that is just seared into my mind forever. But introducing those longer formats and like having more servers and the better ability to upload even longer content, I mean, that is really where YouTube hit its stride. So I will always find it funny that now because there's another app that kind of thrives on short form videos, especially after the death of Vine, that now they're like, oh, okay, I guess we should get back to our roots. and return to the shorter version of videos when they could have had it the whole time too. They cut it out because they knew that people weren't as interested in it. But
well, it's not that they knew that people weren't as interested in it, it's that format didn't optimize for the maximum amount of time spent on app.
There's that too. I'm sure it's to do with money somewhere down the line as well, but
yeah, well, videos started getting longer on YouTube when they changed the algorithm to prioritize watch time over total views. Because when total views is the metric, having a lot of short videos really pumps you up in the algorithm. When
yes.
watch time is the metric, short videos are a huge penalty. What you want is things people are going to turn on and then forget they're watching. Which is, by the way, why so much right-wing conspiracy media does so well, because the videos are like 4.5 hour long meandering rants, and people will watch one, and that's 4.5 hours worth of you care about this content in the algorithm.
Oh my God. I still remember the first time I heard that particular pundit who passed away, and I'm not even going to say his name. I'm so over him. But the first time I listened to one of his podcasts, because I do have a relative who just like absolutely believed in the cause, not realizing what was happening. I said to him after listening to part of one of it, and I go, do you realize that he said absolutely nothing? And my relative stopped and stared at me and stared at me. He goes, no, he said that this is bad. And I agree. And I'm like, yeah, why? Well, it really makes me feel bad. Why? Whatever. And that was the whole conversation. And I was just like, oh my God. He doesn't realize that he now dislikes whatever the subject was that I don't even remember anymore, even more. And he doesn't even know why. There's no substance behind it. And he doesn't understand that the only substance behind it is his emotions. That's it. That's it.
Well, facts don't care about your feelings. So the show's about your feelings, then why would you bring facts into it?
Right? Yeah, those kind of like projection heavy statements have always just like made me laugh so hard. It's like, okay, except hear me out. You're the one who's not interested in facts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know where to go from there. But anyway, I could gossip about that stuff forever.
let's see. Got an article here. Triller seeks judgment on the pleadings in TikTok patent lawsuit. I haven't read this one. I don't know what it's about.
Okay, I was just going to say that one sounds a bit unfamiliar to me too.
Yeah, it's on lawstreetmedia.com.
Mm-hmm.
According to a filing submitted by Triller Incorporated on Wednesday, the claims of 3 patents belonging to Beijing-based ByteDance Incorporated and its subsidiaries TikTok Inc. and TikTok Pte. Limited, together ByteDance, are unpatentable. The motion for judgment on the pleadings asserts that the patent's 20 claims are invalid under 35 U.S.C. 101 for effectively claiming an abstract idea. The instant case for declaratory relief brought by ByteDance in October 2020 is one of the two the parties are engaged in. It was filed after Triller brought an infringement case last summer alleging that Chinese companies illegally used his proprietary technology by offering stitched together short form videos synced with audio files. What? This guy tried to patent editing video.
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me of that time. Speaking of YouTube and like old beef with people, that's got that same energy as when the React channel tried to patent React videos. Can you imagine? Like TikTok wouldn't exist because so much of it is just reactions.
Well, to be fair to them, they didn't try and patent React videos. They tried to franchise their brand identity.
That's right.
Which was also very dumb.
Yes.
And didn't work for obvious reasons. But this week's 31-page filing argues that claims do not pass muster under Supreme Court's two-step framework for determining whether claims are invalid as abstract. First, Triller contends that the claims are directed to the idea of organizing human activity in a computerized social network. This is abstract, the defendant asserts, because the claims fail to either solve a problem in a technical field or set forth an improvement in a technical field. The technical features recited in the claims are merely invoked as tools for providing a computerized social network, the filing explains. The motion then groups the claims into 7 classifications. For each, Triller asserts, pursuant to the two-step test, nothing therein transforms them into something more than merely abstract ideas. For example, Triller's designated Group 3 claims specify that the software application is a music application, and then add the requirement to use track metadata to make sharing and browsing of track information possible without needing to distribute the related music track files. Triller asserts that the use of metadata was well known and conventional at the time the patents were issued. Over the revised complaints added factual allegations, Triller argues that the Group 3 claims do not represent a solution to the problem of how to transfer music or large data sets across wireless networks. Instead, the defendant contends they merely describe a conventional computer feature, namely the use of metadata, that facilitates the sharing of a particular type of information over that social network, namely information about music. Accordingly, Triller requests the court enter judgment on the pleadings dismissing the asserted claims. The hearing is scheduled for October 8th before Judge Jeffrey S. White. So this, I'm not a patent law expert, but it sounds to me completely unhinged to say, I looked at every individual component of this and each one of those components are not original, therefore this patent is invalid.
That
like imagine taking a patent for a machine and says like you didn't invent sheet metal, you didn't invent screws, you definitely didn't invent rollers.
Yeah, no, that's what some people do try to do on other patents and such also. Some people will also like look up patents that were just like half baked and never actually came to fruition and say like you can't patent XYZ because it was very close to this other thing back then, so it's free for free or fair use or whatever. But reading through that whole thing and like taking a moment to remember because again, it's been a while. Adam Neely did a video on it, but what Universal Music Group did, um, without the spirit of what makes music with how you compose all the notes together, they ran an algorithm that logged every single like musical note combination known to man. And they're like, okay, we have now patented every song, or we have copyright to every single sound. And this again also seems to have that kind of same energy, in that they're trying to say that and again, it almost feels like they're trying to say that like nobody has rights to intellectual property as an individual, because all companies should be able to own it, because they can like algorithmically, or through litigation, do this kind of thing where they're like, well, you can't have a unique idea because all ideas have been had already, is what this really feels like to me, and I don't like it.
Mhm. Don't have a ton more to add on this topic. It's just really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It's a dumb lawsuit.
Yes.
Like I will say I don't know whether it's justifiable. Like whatever patents TikTok is claiming to have,
Mhm.
I don't know whether those patents are justifiable. I don't know how meaningfully different TikTok is from every other video platform.
Mhm.
Um, but also, it doesn't look like the things that are. It doesn't look like TikTok is doing anything to enforce a patent around any of the things that are remotely unique about TikTok,
Mhm.
because YouTube's doing it and Instagram's doing it,
Mhm.
and so are like 50 other apps.
That is one of those things also, is I wonder if they're not going to, because of stuff like this. Like TikTok may not be able to get past the the troubles that it's had over the years, like between being targeted for being Chinese owned, even though it's not part of the CCP and all of that stuff, and um, with all the bad stuff that they're now trusting on the automated moderating system, that is just a terrible idea and a whole other conversation. Um, but it feels like what they may be trying to do more than anything else is ramp it up so that they can just try to sell as much of the pieces of their intellectual property as possible, and then hopefully everybody will just go off onto their other platforms and be happy that way, potentially selling out the TikTok name to one of those other platforms also. And like right now, I would think Instagram with the Reels is probably closest to being able to make that leap and absorb TikTok, which
You think TikTok might be trying to get absorbed?
I feel awful saying it, but it's entirely possible. Like it's
Mm.
that's one of those things where it's like, I know it sounds completely like out there, crazy, but it, again, so much of what they're doing right now, I mean, we've always gotten this left hand does not know what right hand is doing feeling, which is, companies as they grow, it that just kind of happens. You can get out of sync with this and that. But the fact that it is not being addressed to try to get them together, and it's instead seeming to become increasingly nebulous as they go. Um, and then the fact that, for example, a lot of the like research and development situations seems to be occurring, as we've discussed before, in like UK and Ireland territory. So they also are probably in a good place to potentially buy out the TikTok name, and then continue on with all of it there, because they seem more on that set of let's fix problems, and then create features rather. And I don't know about the fixing problems situation versus, like, again, on this side of it, they're fixing problems by turning over things to automation and the algorithm moderator that is apparently going to decide all of our fates,
So
which
you're talking
doesn't make any
specifically about the
sense.
TikTok US, like the US TikTok corporation, not about like
Mhm.
TikTok internationally as an app.
Probably both with the way my brain works. So, because it's like, so the branding of the name versus the pieces of what makes the company or the app, I should say, great rather than the company. Um, like R&D, the heart of R&D does seem to be over in UK and Ireland, but like the heart of automating the moderating system seems to be a very American thing, in my opinion. And that's what they're trying, to do this
Mhm.
here. But then they're also working on adding some of those other features and slowly rolling them out to other people. So it's like they get the features from UK and Ireland and then slowly work on, you know, taking it from them to then distribute through to the rest of the app. So sometimes with companies, if they get too big for their britches too fast, as TikTok is starting to do, they might sell pieces of the company off versus I'm going to sell the entire company to this or that person. So if they were to separate a little bit more, divorce a little bit harder, so to speak, um, a few years from now, whether or not they each kept like the TikTok name, there's pieces that could be absorbed by any of these other companies. And additionally, simultaneous or in parallel to that, there could be somebody else. For example, let's say UK and Ireland keep doing what they're doing with the TikTok name. They might just continue that app, and then that might be only available in their region or something, for example. So it could be both. And it feels like they haven't decided which one of those routes do they want to go. And that article about and I keep bringing it up, the article about the automated moderation, which is just kind of ruining everybody's life right now. The fact that they're bragging about it so hard in that one article, that is what really made me say, okay, they might actually be kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So they're going to try to sell that piece. They're going to say, hey, we can make this work. Look at these numbers. They're fantastic.
Hmm.
And they're going to sell that piece off. And then they're going to be like, okay, well, but the app's gone to hell. So we're going to do something else instead and try to either
What do you
sell
mean
it
sell
off.
that piece off? Like
To
which piece are you talking about when you're
the
talking about the
intellectual
moderation?
property around the automated algorithmic moderating.
Okay, so you think they designed that in house? Because
Or
I
they
think
think that they have.
I think that they have fully just like hired a service that is doing the moderator. Like I
And
think
that
they're
could be
just
it too. I wonder, what if it's all just Mechanical Turk?
I
That would be so bad. It would also explain a lot of things, but because
would it?
they
Because like
Mhm.
the AI does a lot of shit that humans wouldn't.
Yes. Yeah, which is why I do think it is AI rather than Mechanical Turk. But like at the same time, if it is something like Mechanical Turk, a lot of the nonsensical stuff makes a little bit more sense, even though it still does not make sense. Are you familiar with Mechanical Turk?
Yes, and
Okay.
so for the audience, Mechanical Turk is a service offered by Amazon that is just hiring humans to do repetitive tasks for very little money. Um, it's named after the Mechanical Turk, which is a historical automaton. It was a machine that played chess, and it was like a, a sculpture of a Turk with a chessboard, and like people would play chess against the Mechanical Turk, and the machine would respond to their moves and move pieces around the board, and it won really frequently. And the way that it worked was there was an actual person sitting inside in a box under the chessboard, um, and they were just playing chess, and there was an automaton that moved pieces. But yeah, I think that like the if it were Mechanical Turk, we wouldn't be seeing so many things get blocked that like are so transparently, obviously not violating content. Like we're seeing the kind of mistakes that AIs
Yeah.
make.
Yeah. I mean, it is still potentially possible because because I don't know if you have ever participated in Mechanical Turk, but there was a time in my life when I did that because it was like, you know what? I need 20 extra bucks for something and I'm unemployed and blah, blah, blah. So I would hop onto Mechanical Turk and do dumb stuff. But uh, you can say that you speak a language, for example. So if it's a text-based moderating situation, you can say that you speak a language, and as long as it's like passable, like they'll just let you through anyway, because basically there's like a little like test that'll have you run to like prove that you do at least know some English. But knowing some English, for example, or other language for, you know, folks who are on the app using any other language, and then actually being like fluent or even native in said language, um, is a very different thing, because it's like a good example is like when you're talking about like dog whistles in language, that's not obvious to people who aren't like in the know about that. And most non-native speakers, for example, probably would not know about that kind of thing. So that also it has a potential. It's a very low, small
I mean,
potential.
like, I'm not talking about like dog whistles. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like this sentence fully just does not have any
Yes.
content that violate like, and like I could see like you would have to genuinely not understand the language. Like
Have
you'd
there
have
been that many like super false positives like that?
there have been a lot of like there's clearly just a keyword here, and that is
Okay.
what got blocked. And like I could see like the possibility that like
Or
if there is a person who is like functioning as a mechanical Turk who has
mhm.
tricked the system into thinking they speak English in order to be allowed to do that, then they need to be like at the level with English that I am at with Spanish, where like if you
Right?
showed me a block of text, I would be able to find some words in it and tell you what those words mean out of context. I would have no idea whether they have contextual meaning, and I would have
Yeah.
no idea what they're doing in the sentences. Uh, but like,
So
is that level of competence something that you can like pass those tests with?
yes and no. So like that also brings up to again, unfortunately, because my brain just keeps kind of skipping over steps. So like there's kind of the two versions of the moderating. One piece of it is like the truly automated stuff. So like for example, when we were testing those bad words said in DMs, all that situation, um, because like an on submission immediately, like okay, this text violates community guidelines. That's definitely like behind the scenes filtering, fully AI type of stuff. Versus like I have a feeling potentially from like once somebody's comment like actually gets reported. So like if the body of the text is like okay, but like it starts to get reported, there could have been a potential for like Mechanical Turk style like reviews where the review of it does not make any sense versus
Right, but there's also like a lot of comments that just get like you know how when you post a comment and it gets filtered, it shows it to you, but it doesn't show it to anybody else. I go through my filtered comments a lot, and there are a lot of things in my filtered comments that make there's no fucking reason for them to be filtered. Like there's no
yeah.
intelligible reason for them to be have been filtered, and those are instantaneous. Like they just didn't ever show those comments to anybody.
I that still reminds and that makes me think of too, because it's like one of those outside of the box thinkings is that sometime uh there's a couple of word combination. Oh, that's right. Can always, like I can always whatever it is that you want to do, right? What's wrong with that sentence? Why is that
Um,
a violation? Are you ready for this? Are you ready to be angry with me? I can always CAN space ALWAYS They marked it because it spells the word anal, because I can
uh,
always.
I see.
So it's like that kind of dumb crap. It's like again, it may not be fully applied here to TikTok, but stupid things where you have to galaxy brain it like that, it doesn't make any sense why they're flagging it as a violation, because you're saying two completely fine words, but because it without question just sees an AL in
Right,
any
but
combination, it's dead. That's it. It's a violation. You're gone.
like that's the kind of thing that AIs do. There's no reason a human would ever do that because there
Correct.
are spaces there. So even if you're just looking for the word anal, you're not going to find it when you scan the page and see can
Yep.
always.
Yep. Stupid stuff like that, right? It
Right.
just, oh, it gets under my skin. It so gets under my skin.
What's up?
Sorry, the comments in chat asking about like, so if you're talking about the dessert spotted dick, and it's like, yeah, exactly. That's that kind of context where any reasonable, rational human type person, mostly human person, would be able to see spotted dick in a conversation and understand that it's not the literal appendage,
I mean,
and
I
that it
think a
is
lot
a
of
food
Americans
item.
would make that mistake.
So yeah, that is that is again one of those things that I could just go on a tangent about in so many ways too, because language, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like one of the things that I talk about a lot in the like plans we're putting together for researching on TikTok is that there's a challenge with doing research on like social media platform is that like when you're doing research on real life, like physics, you're
Mm.
doing research to try and glean meaning out of an indifferent universe. Like the
Yeah.
reality doesn't care if you understand it, and that is much easier to do than research something that is actively hostile to the prospect of you understanding it and will deliberately change on purpose if it figures out that you understand it. Um,
Yes.
and that's super true of the algorithm. It's also the way that language works. Like, there's there's only ever one class of people in a society, and it is the most privileged class who are not doing this with language, and everybody else in every society is always um, constructing new language in a way that makes their language deliberately inaccessible to people with the power to enact violence upon them if they find out that they're exercising their agency in a way that they would prefer they hadn't. And in the case of uh, auto filters, like in the or even manual review on platforms, that means that when you're trying to censor a platform, what you are doing is cultivating a space in which new syntax and new language is going to evolve.
Yes.
Uh, that just communicates all of the meanings you're trying to suppress.
Oh yeah, because we are legitimately in a panini now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the word pandemic is just replaced with panini.
Yeah, and I don't know if the word pandemic was ever actually censored on TikTok. We just sort of assume it is because it's a
So
P word.
because it's not that it was censored so much as if when you post in your video up and any captions relating to the video, including the ones like in the description versus like actually like putting the closed captions on it, it would automatically put up that like watermark at the bottom saying that like COVID-19 serious business, blah, 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 blah. So people just started replacing it with the word panini so that they wouldn't get that warning on it, because most people are under the assumption, well, they're thinking from their point of view, I am speaking to my audience. So like if a few trolls come by or whatever, like they can just deal with it. But it's, that also kind of, I feel like sometimes kind of circumventing those things also has an effect on who gets to see your content then. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
also, and again, this is like completely tangential, but can bring some of that strife to people unwittingly, because the people that they don't really want to see their content are now being funneled there because the algorithm sees that it's a really popular video, and it doesn't realize that like people who are maybe sick of the pandemic may really enjoy paninis. Not trying to like shame anybody, but I also feel like for as much good as that kind of creative thinking does, unfortunately, it has a little bit of a backfire too.
I would suggest that you're overestimating the quality of TikTok's tagging system to think that it can
I don't
distinguish the word
know.
panini and like meaningfully treats that as a category.
I don't know, because I've got a couple of people too who just like, they try to talk about that, and like if they used pandemic and they had the tag on it, it underperformed, but they had less trolls, especially
Right,
for the
but
people
like
in the Polititalk.
when they use the word panini, did they find their video reaching a weirdly high number of sandwich enthusiasts?
Oh, not not necessarily. Sorry, I feel like I've maybe explained myself a little bit poorly. So, like, no, they're not necessarily getting the Panini fan club all up in their business, but some people who were maybe trying to filter out pandemic stuff from their algorithm now because they were saying panini instead of pandemic, so they're getting filtered to this popular video, even though they're not actually interested in paninis. They just didn't want the pandemic content. I'm explaining myself poorly.
I mean, I think that I don't think that that's how TikTok's
Yeah.
like I think a
It's just
video
like
that is
the
about the panini isn't going to like it may not get the like auto thing that is going to put a
Mhm,
flag on it that says COVID, but it is
mhm.
overwhelmingly going to get engagement by people who tend to engage with pandemic content. And
Yeah.
so like TikTok is still going to correctly figure out how to contextualize this video alongside other videos.
Yeah. Yeah, like the graphic warning contents too. Like thankfully I almost never see a video with like this is sensitive or graphic or whatever. Like TikTok has figured out that like I am not here for the violence. Like I just am not. If it's violent, I don't want to see it. If it's something that's like cosplay, fake blood, fake knife, whatever, like that's fine. But these oh, I hate this visceral reaction I have every time I think about it. Like people who are on like bikes or rollerblades or something like that, and then just eating gravel or whatever. Like I hate that stuff. I can't.
I don't
Mm.
think I've ever been served one of those videos.
Oh God, I again bless the Magic the Gathering community, but I started following a bunch of dudes in the Magic Gathering community. I got a lot of straight talk, a lot of wrestling for a long time. A lot of Pokemon, a lot of Warhammer with a number. I don't remember the number because numbers suck. But
40K.
yes, thank you. Warhammer 40K and yeah, these just like like either gratuitous, violent, physical jokes. Like Curly and Moe style, Three Stooges. There we go. Um, and yeah, and then like people just like eating dirt like all the time or bad car crashes and weirdly semis and road rage, specifically semi trucks and road rage, not any kind of road rage, because I do occasionally get the I caught this on my dash cam and it's unbelievable, especially the guy on the motorcycle. I've never followed him. I've liked quite a few of his videos, but yeah.
So Hank Green posted a video at one point of a baseball hitting the camera, and it was really surprising.
Oh my
It was
god.
super out of character for him to do that to his audience. I would like to contest this point. He did a whole series of videos where he ended every video by throwing a book at the camera.
Oh god, that baseball one that he did it, I was not expecting it from him either. And it totally got me and I dodged. I'm not ashamed to like admit that. And there were a couple of people that were also doing that, and oh man. And those other scary ones too, where you know that there's going to be like a scream or a big spider or something like that at the end. I'm always in that comment section immediately. I'm like, this is going to be a jump scare. I'm done. I go straight to the comments to find out if it is one or not.
I just swipe if I feel like a video is going to
Yeah.
be garbage.
Yeah.
I don't want it to. I don't want to give it the engagement of clicking on the comment section.
Sometimes I'll even like hit pause first and just be like, okay.
Also, a sign that you're engaging.
Oh no, pause really? Because then you're not watching it the whole way through.
Any
That's rude.
any interaction is interaction. Like there's no. I honestly think that the not interested button counts as positive engagement in terms
See,
of
and
like
that
serving you similar content.
Yeah, and that's why so many people too were surprised to find out that I just block
Yeah, no, obviously.
so much, because it's like if you say not interested, it's like, okay, they're not interested today, but she's going to want that next week. No. There are still a couple of creators that I may have engaged with a couple of their videos once upon a time, like maybe back in like 2019, early 2020, and I am still getting their content pushed across my For You page every couple of months. And I'm just kind of
Yeah.
like, why? You keep showing me this person that I keep pushing uninterested in, and you keep bringing them back every couple of months as if I'm going to just magically be excited about them all of a sudden. But for example, uh, there's like 5 creators that I really enjoy following on TikTok. I never see their content on my FYP, never.
Mm.
So it's like I either have to go to their page or go to my following, and then they might show up there. And it's like, what sense does that even make? You won't push the content of the people that I follow because you want me to follow more people, even though I'm like not interested in that. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, if you're getting what you want out of the app, then you've gotten what you want and you can leave.
That's true. that that TikTok that my friend sent me last night of the clown wishing you a good night, but in a really creepy way, and to drink water. That peak TikTok.
I have no idea what video you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, I posted it. Hold on, I will show it to you.
Is it the Carnival Jedi one? Oh no, send this to a friend, #clown.
Yes. I just reposted it in the live stream channel too. So it's like that's about as creepy as I like a video to be before I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Hi, good morning. Your friends sent you this because they wanted to tell you that they want you to have good sleep tonight, and they want you to drink water. And also they're wanting for several manslaughter charges in the state of Arkansas, and they want to know if you still have their back. Yeah.
It's like, it's haunting, but it's sweet, and then there's that twist at the end. I sent that to so many people, and they're like, "Thanks, I hate it."
Reminds me of the birthday skeleton.
Yes.
Child, it's your birthday tomorrow. You know what that means, right? Oh boy. Tonight you get a visit from the birthday skeleton. What?
What?
Hello, small human. What material wealth do you wish for? An Xbox? The contract is sealed. One of the best videos on the internet, or comics on the internet.
It is wonderful, and it's especially creepy because I hear ticking in your background. So it's like,
That is interesting because I don't have a clock.
tick, tick. Well, I don't know where it's coming from. but I do hear it. God.
Oh, I believe you guys about the ticking. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. Like the telltale heart. Ba-boom, ba-boom. And I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm looking in the background for a second too, because like sometimes if there's like a fan going or something, you can see like something kind of ticking across or whatever. But yeah, everybody's yeah. Is it raining? Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my God, it was
It might
raining
be
like
raining.
all
I
day
could check
here.
by looking to the right. I'm not gonna.
It's not important. Copy that. Yeah. Oh God, that's such a mood too. It's like, okay, so what do I need to do to like improve my environment? I need to pick up that thing that's been on the floor for 3 weeks and is bothering the hell out of me. And guess what? I'm not going to do it.
Oh, I have no problem with the ticking. I am not. This is not an issue for me at all. I am just enjoying the fact that you guys don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what. Oh, now it stopped.
Huh. Interesting.
Play the old man stage version. Oh, nice.
All right. It's nearly 9. We've gone through all of the
Yes.
articles we were going to go through. I am going to call it a night.
Fantastic.
Thank you all for coming and watching. Remember, Marco Rubio told the CIA not to get a TikTok account.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep better tonight knowing that.
And then bragged about it on his website.
Yeah.
Right. Good night, everybody. Don't look behind you.